So thank you, Jong Yoon, for joining us at WiT Japan and North Asia, and to share your lessons in from unicorn to Decacorn, a lesson in globalization. We look forward to listening to your ideas. So, Jong Yoon, I don't know about you, but I was truly pleased to see the end of 2021. For me, it was relentless, it was exhausting, it was a roller coaster. Yet, you, Yanolja, sort of still bucked the trend. You were still globalizing while most players would localize, were localizing. So would you say that 2021 was a breakthrough year for Yanolja?
Yeah, first of all, thank you for inviting me here. And I'm always happy to participate in this event because I'm realizing the new advancement of the travel in the world. So 2021 was the great year for Yanuja because we did prove the possibility and potential that Yanuja will be a leading travel tech company in the world and also the largest SaaS solution provider in this sector as a global space as a service company based on AI and the cloud technologies. So recently we announced the concept Tiger, and each letter have the very important the meanings, but the T is technology. So I believe 2021 was a very hard time for everybody in this sector, but we could find out the potential of technology in the travel sector.
Right. So I actually picked out 4 key milestones for you in 2021, but I'm sure that there were a lot more. But anyway, the key milestones from what I saw was, in July, you raised 1.7 billion. So it's always good to have lots of money. And then in July, you did a partnership with VNLIFE in Vietnam. So that sort of gave you an entry into one of, Asia's sort of biggest markets. And then in October, you bought 70% of Interpark's e-commerce division for 250 million. And then in December, you acquired Dable, which is an adtech company. So now you told me that the full fundraise was all for business development, mergers, and acquisitions, right? So as you spend that money, must be wonderful to have all that money to spend. What's your ultimate objective? What's the outcome you want to get to?
Sure. So as the addressable market size of car market has been tripled by Tesla. So originally the market size is about 1,000 to 2,000 billion US dollar market originally, but recently they are telling that the car market size is about 5,000 billion US dollar. Like the mobility market, I believe the travel and hospitality market size has been bigger through the technology, and we are thinking the market size is at least 3,000 billion US dollar. So we would like to decide this market, meaning our vision is very big. So we are envisioning a world where technology digitalized and connects all kinds of the spaces and personalized those states where we are and throughout our journey from one location to the other. So to achieve the goal, we need to digitize all kinds of the spaces globally and distribute the digitized space information very efficiently, even through the Metaverse, and develop the global space data meta platform with AI. So it's just the beginning, and you can find out more exciting milestones from Yanolja soon.
Wow, the vision that you paint is so ambitious and so amazing. Like, you're talking about basically resizing the market, redefining the market actually, because you're talking about beyond hospitality, you're talking about spaces, right? And so you're redefining the sector, and you really just want to expand the sector and connect all the dots in that sector to $3,000 billion. That's the number that you're saying.
1,000, yeah, it's great.
Yeah, $3,000 billion, right?
Correct.
I mean Wow, what a vision. I mean, like, do you see this happening in 10 years or do you see this happening in 5 years? Do you have a timeline?
So up to 2025, we will digitize at least 1 million spaces, meaning the number of the clients. And up to 2030, we will digitize at least 10 million spaces. And meaning up to 2030, we can achieve the vision, which I told you. So it will take about 8 years, I think.
Okay. Where are you now in terms of spaces?
Everywhere. So think about this.
No, I meant the number, because you said 2025, 1 million spaces, right?
Yeah, correct.
So how many spaces do you have now?
As of now, about 50,000. And
Okay.
within this year, we can achieve more than about more than 100,000.
Right. So doubling. All right. Okay.
That's the point I would like to tell you. So despite the COVID-19, we achieved the growth rate of 107% during the last 2 years, despite the COVID-19. Only mostly from the hospitality sector, the tech sector.
Hospital.
Yeah,
Okay.
so we already double the number of the accounts only last 1.5 years. So this is very important momentum. We can accelerate the growth rate.
Right. So you truly buck the trend, as I said at the very, very beginning. Okay. So let's look at your partnership with VNLIFE, right? Which is a partnership with a e-commerce company in Vietnam, the leading payments company that has travel. Is that the preferred model for expansion, like partnership with a multi-sector tech giant? And are there similar opportunities you're exploring in markets in North Asia?
Yeah,
in
sure.
other parts of North Asia?
Yeah. To digitalize all kinds of spaces globally, partnership is inevitable. So Yanuja already have more than 350 partners, including the resellers, in 170 countries. And we are looking for the new partners who can digitize the space itself. That's the reason why we are looking for the IT leaders in each country. So we will announce new partnerships in many countries like Japan, China, North America, and Europe soon. And definitely in terms of the Southeast Asia or the North Asia, we are discussing very details with the specific partners already.
Wow, okay. I'm trying to get, I'm trying to sort of grasp your kind of pace of expansion. It's really, really fast. Okay, let's talk about the acquisition of Interpark, right? And that was very interesting. So how will that strengthen your local position in South Korea? I assume that is to strengthen your position in South Korea. But will you be using its e-commerce strength to boost your e-commerce capabilities outside South Korea?
Yeah, so globalization is a key to leverage the Interpark's capability as a value plan. So Interpark is already #1 in the B2C flight booking and entertainment ticket market, like a concert, musical, and sports ticket. Also, Interpark is a leading player in the outbound from Korea to the other countries, the package tour and hotel booking and leisure ticket booking. So in terms of the e-commerce, we will develop the vertical player in specific areas connected with the travel, because travel is a main theme. Interpark will be the global travel tech company, not just the e-commerce player. But e-commerce is very important to provide verticalized the experience to the customer. So we will specialize the specific vertical themes. Also, Yanuja will transform the Interpark into the lifestyle company as well, and we will globalize its business. So I believe flight and the entertainment are the very important the theme to use the many spaces. So flight should be connected with the other spaces for the travelers, and also the entertainment can be provided in many spaces, not only for the specific concert the spaces. So we are talking with many hotels or the other space, the property owners, to combine the entertainment and spaces to diversify the customer's experience.
Right. So Interpark will be your B2C brand, travel brand, e-commerce travel brand for overseas expansion. Is that right?
That's correct. Especially the
Okay.
flight and entertainment.
And entertainment. Interesting. Okay. So let's go to Dable now, which was quite interesting. That's a South Korean startup as well. So you're really, to me, enabling the globalization of Korean tech companies, right? Because with Interpark, that's sort of big Korean giant, but really didn't expand overseas. So you are kind of pushing them out of South Korea. And you seem to be doing the same with Dable. So Dable, I was reading from their website, started by, young kids, and adtech company using machine learning and data for personalization. And I know that you're a big believer in personalization being the next big thing. So how will you be leveraging their tech for travel? Because now their tech is for all clients, right? It's not just travel.
Yeah, main theme are the global and AI. So more than half of the revenue of Dable comes from the global market, not Korea. Dable is #1 in the many Southeast Asian countries, and the share of the revenue in outside Korea will be increasing quite fast. So we will combine the Yanolja space-based the platform with Dable's personalization platform to provide more better experience for the customers. So as you mentioned, we can make the higher the targeted the customer segment for the hotels, for example, or the customer can be order very personalized or customized offer to the platform. So Dable is kind of the connection between the provider and the consumer, and they will make the data mart to personalize each data for the both parties.
Right. Okay. The bridge in
Right.
connectivity, personalized connectivity. Okay. So I mean, clearly your globalization plans are very ambitious, and exciting. But globalization to me is more than acquisitions, right? It's more than buying or partnership and all that. It takes a mindset, right? And historically, looking at the histories, like Western travel brands have generally been better at globalizing than North Asian travel brands, right? So for example, we see Marriott's and Hilton's everywhere, but we don't see like a Prince or a Lotte, right? And then I think Chinese travel brands other than Trip.com have also kind of struggled for the most part, right? So what are you doing internally at Yanolja, to prepare for you taking, I know Yanolja stands for let's play, right? So for taking your mantra, let's play globally. Like how are you changing mindsets within the organization?
Yeah, so we have the two directions. First one is the B2B business. So SaaS solution can be helpful to make all the spaces owners and operators make money, because we can provide automated operation and the personalization to improve the revenue and lower the cost. So last year, Yanuja already opened AI hotel with about 100 rooms. And this year, we will open new AI hotel with more than 500 rooms. But the hotel's name are not Yanuja's, meaning Yanuja Cloud will lead the globalization as a B2B solution provider for every hotels, including global hotel chains. So I think if we try to sell our B2C brand, I believe it would be very difficult, but we will provide the best technology for all the providers as a B2B business. This is the better idea to increase the success rate. And the other direction, yeah.
Can I just stop you there? So you basically you're using Yanolja technology to power an AI hotel that has 100 rooms, and now you have another AI hotel with 500 rooms, and that's in Seoul, is it? That's in South Korea.
That's correct.
Okay. And what is the name of the hotel, or it's a white label solution? So it's not called Yanolja, it's called another brand, right? It's a independent property that uses your technology.
Yeah, the hotel's name is Ramada. So it's the global hotel chain. And
Ramada,
yeah, chose Yanulja's solution because of the better efficiency for their operation and better experience for the customers. But we don't have to expose Yanulja name to the customer.
Sure. Okay, so you're powering 2 Ramada AI powered hotels right now in Seoul. That's
correct.
Yeah.
So in Korea, Yanuja is very strong to all the B2C customers, but in the global market, rather than exposing Yanuja's name to B2C, we will help the B2B clients, like including hotel, leisure facilities, and the other space owners to make money.
Okay.
But we need to have. Yeah, go ahead.
Now I am curious. What is an AI hotel?
Yeah, please come to Korea, then I can show you.
No staff, only you go into this room and the room just kind of like reads you. I mean, what is an AI hotel?
So the base is cloud. So we can make all the data flow in the cloud. That's the first. And then we can connect the AI technologies there. So definitely we can provide the kiosk and kiosk solution and so on. But more important thing is that every data is in the cloud and we can connect any other applications like a robot or the others very easily. So AI hotel concept is kind of the foundation, and any application, the providers can be connected with the foundation easily because we transform all the data in the cloud, and the data is flowing very, very easily from end to end.
Okay, all right. Yeah. So sorry. So yeah,
another direction we have. So definitely, we don't have to expose the brand to B2C customers directly, but definitely we need to have a company concept like a mantra you mentioned. So the other direction is the net zero carbon emission. As I told you, 8% of total carbon emission comes from the travel. And it is becoming increasingly difficult to keep current business model to meet the emission goal at the Paris Accord. So I believe that we need to have very clear roadmap to address this issue. And I believe Yanuja and Yanuja Cloud are the only solution who can achieve the net zero. So previously, as I told you, we will publish the net zero carbon emission report soon. And also we would like to have the big discussion with the governments or the important sector leaders to address together. So Yanuja would like to be a leading company to address net zero carbon emission issue, and we will achieve net zero until 2050 like the industries.
Okay. So you want to lead the globalization on two fronts, really, is to kind of roll out AI powered hotels, right? And then at the same time to really take the lead on net zero carbon emissions for the industry. So there are two.
Or exactly not just hotel, AI
All
powered
spaces.
spaces. Yeah.
Okay, all spaces. Okay. Right, but mentally, okay, so mentally, for me, globalization is more than like, having strategies and say, it's more than executing in business. It's also like a certain mindset, right, globally. So, so I want to bring up I think during the pandemic, I think the world has been kind of saved by K-drama and K-pop, right? And BTS is such a breakthrough band. So South Korea has been so successful in globalizing its culture, right? Movies, Oscar-winning movies, K-drama, and all that. So are there any lessons that you're taking from BTS, for example, in terms of globalizing Yanolja?
First of all, the Interpark are selling all the BTS tickets in Korea because Interpark's market share among the entertainment business is more than 70%. So we have all the data about the entertainment, about the K-pop. So I believe we can leverage the data to provide the better the data warehouse or data dashboard for every entertainment companies. Anyway, I believe the travel is kind of the most important carrier for this culture and content. So if each country or company are creating the content only or culture only, it's not that helpful for their GDP or revenue. But if they can put the content or the culture in the carrier of the travel, I think the volume can be multiplied and can get bigger about by the 10 times or 100 times because more the travelers can experience the pop or the drama or the content and culture in person. So
Right. So
Yanuja
yeah.
would like to be a best partner for this kind of the culture and the content. So we will start from the Korea, but we would like to provide this kind of the solution itself for every country because K-drama is only made in Korea, but I believe from now on, many countries can make the new content or the culture like Korea, but they don't have the solution or know-how to multiply the content in a bigger sense. So again, Yanolja Interpark is number one in this entertainment market in Korea, which means we have all the data about K culture and artists. So we will leverage this database to make a value add in this sector first, and we will put this culture and content with the travel, and combining these two can be very good know-how for the other countries. That's what we are thinking about our global business.
Wow. So basically, just as people should travel, content and culture should travel as well.
That's
And
correct.
you want to use Interpark to power, the travel of content and culture across the world. Okay. So you want to be a distributor actually, and also a purveyor of culture and content around the world using the Interpark brand. That's interesting. So now your career before joining Yanolja, you were at multinationals all the time. You were at 3M, you were at KPMG, you were at Google, you were at McKinsey, right? What do these global multinationals do better or well than South Korean companies?
Yeah,
What do they do well?
I think strong, this kind of the multinational career guys can be strong at the B2C customer side because fast changing areas where diverse perspectives and experience are required, but can be weak at B2C supplier side because that's the where the understanding the nature of the business in a long run is necessary. So in terms of me, I try to strengthen the understanding in this sector first, because it's very long history sector and market. And if I ignore the history of the travel sector, probably is very risky. So I think this kind of the guys should study the history of the travel more and more.
Right. Okay. So let's talk about, and so you just spoke about the history of travel. So now let's talk about the future of travel, right? And
Yeah.
I know this is the biggest buzzword of 2022 is Metaverse. And we were discussing earlier, you know, about Snow Crash, the book, you know. So do you see applications for Metaverse in terms of destinations, or theme parks, you know? And do you think South Korea will be the first mover in this, given that, you know, you have such a high tech culture?
Sure, definitely. So travel sector consists of two kinds, content and inventory. And Metaverse is a new interface integrating online and offline for the travel content. Also, NFT will be a key to improve the transparency of the inventory and make the operation more efficient. So the Metaverse is an important new trend we need to watch out for. So for example, we are combining our tickets with NFT already. And we can control the resale of the ticket, which is very important for the entertainment agencies. Also, Metaverse maybe require the more content. That's the reason why the content industry's value is going up. And I believe the travel sector's content volume is biggest among all the sectors. So if we can digitalize the content inventory in an efficient way with new digital technology like NFT or DID and so on, probably we can read this Metaverse trend as the leading the sector.
Right. So you think that travel is an optimum industry for the Metaverse because it has such a huge world of content and it has loads and loads of inventory, right? But okay, so you feel, but do you feel it a bigger potential for destinations, or do you feel it for hotels or theme parks? Who do you think will be the first to really get into the Metaverse in a big way?
So again, the content is the source of the creativity. So virtual world can be made by the experience, and more experience can be provided by the travel. So the travel sector should think about how to digitize these contents, not only about reality, but about the virtual world. And inventory is very important. So in terms of the e-commerce or the other sector, they are intentionally limit the inventory volume. But in terms of the travel sector, originally we have a limited number of the inventory only in this sector. So NFT is very well fit with the travel sector. So if we are leading this kind of a trend as a leader, then Metaverse should come to the travel sector rather than the other sector like the pictures or the paintings, something like that. So we need to change the interest of the Metaverse guys, because travel sector is not the industry creating the interface itself, but we can provide the content and inventory as a main player. And
Right.
as you mentioned, I believe the hotel can use these Metaverse technologies to improve their operations. And in terms of the net zero carbon emission, definitely need to use these technologies. So use of the how to use can be different by the retail sectors in the travel and hospital industry.
Right. You know, it's so true that we need to change the interest of the metaverse sector right now, because I just attended, you know, it's Singapore Art Week, and I attended an NFT art exhibition this week. And, you know, art is the sector that's kind of exploding in NFTs right now, right? You know, people buying art. But, you know, so travel, you're saying that travel should be one of the sectors that's leading NFTs.
So in Korea, Yanuja is top player. So we will launch the new concept of the NFT item soon. And we will create the new concept using the NFT or the Metaverse concept as a kind of the innovator or early adopter. And I hope this kind of the new the trials can be good example or best practice in the other players.
Yes, well, we look forward to seeing your example, you know, because as with anything, when we started talking about blockchain, it was that people say, we want a use case. We want to see a use case. So we hope that you will be, you know, able to show us a use case. Okay, so now let's talk about 2022. Okay, and this is rapid fire question, right? Quick answers, right? One word to describe 2022.
Yeah, digital transformation.
Okay. What part of your job would you like to do more of in 2022?
I see a spark of hope.
I'm sorry, can you say that again?
Spark of hope in 2023.
Okay, spark of hope. You want to spread hope around the world. Oh, yeah, right. Okay, that's interesting. All right. And then, you know, you have a lot of books on your bookshelf there, right? So what is the most interesting book that you've read in the last year?
Later I can update. Frankly speaking, last year I was very busy, so I'm just playing the books. But this year I will read.
So this year you will read. So I will recommend a few books for you.
Yeah.
That's all about science fiction.
Thank you. I will.
Thank you so much, Jong, for sharing your insights with us. Wow, you know, so ambitious, so exciting. We look forward to really following your journey from unicorn to Decacorn and really globalizing around the world with very exciting partnerships. So we look forward to, you know, to following your journey, Jong. You know, I'm not sure we can follow because you're moving so fast, but we look forward to following your journey, Jong. Thank you so much. 감사합니다.
I would like to subject of this session to the Decacorn to Hexacon. Thank you today.
Thank you. 감사합니다.